wiretaps by themselves are not legal at all. And the Benazir Bhutto judgment, in which the Supreme Court upheld the dissolution of the assembly and the removal of Ms. Bhutto's second dispensation, has already made it amply clear that within our rights and within the right to privacy, that also involves beyond your own personal dwellings, your workspaces, other areas. In fact, most anything that you engage with in day-to-day life, you cannot be surveilling people illegally. So the fact of wiretapping has always been considered unlawful. The question that remains is that where is this wiretapping coming from? Where is this security breach coming from? What are the areas that are compromised? Who is doing this? And to answer all of those ancillary questions, considering that the legal position is so clear, you would require something of a consensus between political parties who are facing these leaks on a now weekly basis. One day you have it against the Muslim League, one day you have it against the Tehreek-e-Insaf, and it would be better if these same parties came together in Parliament and decided to just close rank on at least this one issue, because it is damaging to everyone. It has always damaged everyone. And usually such leaks are part of a wider dirty tricks campaign. They're often doctored, and they are always meant to hurt or intimidate or damage the subject. So now's the time to actually steal a march on this issue and try to just plug wherever these leaks are coming from. The punishment for something like this, we've seen the Benazir Bhutto judgment has already held that such wiretapping is an illegal activity. The next hurdle to cross, though, would be who are you actually going to hold responsible for something like this? Beyond the realm of conspiracy theories, we don't have anybody coming forward. We don't have, in fact, even a basic working assumption as to why this is happening or how this is happening. And that, again, underscores the major problem, which is that this has been a massive security breach. No one's pointing it out. No one's suggesting what needs to be done. Most political parties who are at the wrong end of such leaks are using it for political point scoring as and when the tide turns against the other person, and are forsaking consensus on that point. So a lot needs to be done to be able to actually plug these leaks in the first place. So there are two separate aspects pertaining to the contents of the leak as regards the Prime Minister. The first aspect is that, again, you have to be subject to the long and rather strenuous list of requirements that the Ishtiyaq judgment has provided in 2019, and to be able to cross so many evidentiary hurdles before you can be produced in a court of law is going to be quite complicated. That's the first aspect. The second aspect is that the Prime Minister may have complicated his own situation. He has more or less acknowledged the authenticity of the conversations that he was having. But that also then leads to another interesting situation. There is no bar on anybody providing evidence of their own accord as regards what they are doing or their own acts of omission or commission. But to prove the authenticity of an audio leak or a video leak is something that is entirely separate from that. That has to go through the list of requirements. So if the Prime Minister, he has already said that if I am found culpable in some future recording, then I am there in front of you. The situation, though, isn't so simple. If these conversations are authentic, then it does raise serious questions as to what the current dispensation's priorities are. The rather baseless way in which it was suggested that the Sehat card, which is a first step reform towards wider access to medical coverage, be shut down, amongst many other questions. Will you be able to use these recordings, though, in a court of law as evidence to make your case that there is a broader malicious design going on, you will not. That can only flow from these people testifying themselves, or if you go through the list of requirements in the Ishtihad judgment.